So now we're going to...
Hello, I'm Mr. Mussel.
Really?
Hi.
Really?
Hello, Julz.
Is 1/4 of a cup of the tri-coloured quinoa, just in a pan by itself there. I'm going to add 1/2 cup of water. Lovely. And just a pinch of sea salt. Awesome. So I'm just going to put that on the heat. I'm going to bring it to the boil and then simmer for 10 minutes. And then I'm going to rest it for 5. And I'm going to add it to the paella. So I've just added the 1 tablespoon of coconut oil and it's nicely melted. So just on a low heat, you want to keep it reasonably low because you don't want to burn. I have 1 onion finely chopped and 1 clove of garlic finely chopped also. So that goes in there. Ooh, delicious. Just give that a stir around. So now that the quinoa is boiling, I'm going to turn it down to a simmer. So we've brought it up to the boil and now we're going to simmer it for say about 10 minutes, just till it's nicely cooked through. So now I'm going to add a little bit of charizo. So I have about half a charizo sausage, like a long one, just diced up nice and finely. So I'll just chuck that in there and give that a little bit of a stir around. So to give it that little bit of spiciness and a little bit of meatiness that is quite normal with a paella, I suppose. Yeah. And what I have here is 1 or 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. So 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika straight in there. So that's going to give it some like smokiness. It's going to give it all the flavours. It's going to bring it together. That's what the paprika is going to do.
How does this differ from a regular paella?
Oh well, a regular paella just uses rice. So I thought I'd just do something a little bit different. Use quinoa. Everyone's into quinoa at the moment. It's it's got a lot more protein than say a rice, and it's just a little different texture, a little bit of fun, you know. How's that?
We have lights.
Come here real close. See, so now we've got the onions, we've got the garlic, we've got the chorizo, and we've got the smoked paprika. Can you smell that? So that's coming along nicely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add 3 small tomatoes diced. So that could probably be 1 massive one or 2 medium ones. Very small ones, or maybe 6 really small ones, I don't know. So we're just going to saute that down. You want those tomatoes to really cook down and just like turn into a sauce. So I'm just going to cook that for maybe another 5 minutes. I'm going to add maybe a 1/4 cup of water just to really make it saucy, okay? Oh shit. 1/4 cup of water. Actually no, make it half of that. 1/8 of a cup. That's too much water. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to cook this down so those tomatoes break down, turn into a nice little sauce, just on a medium heat. And then once the quinoa is done, we can finish it up. Delicious.
So it's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's really quick. It's maybe 15 minutes from go to whoa. Well, I still have to add the seafood to it, of course, because it's not a paella without seafood. But yeah, 15-minute meal, easy. Jamie would be jealous. Okay, so come have a look. So this is cooked down nicely. Actually, you can see the tomatoes have started to break down. Create a little bit of a sauce there.
It's a bit thicker now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just delicious. I'm going to stick my finger in there.
Yeah.
Delicious. If you have a look at the quinoa, it's nicely done. So that's been about 10 minutes on the simmer. So I'm just going to sit it to the side for another 5 minutes just to rest, to turn that heat off.
How do you know when quinoa's done?
Just have a taste of it. When it tastes like it's cooked, it's cooked. Like if you go by the recipe that I just gave you before, it'll absorb all the liquid and then there will be no liquid left.
Okay.
And then it'll be cooked. It's pretty easy. So into this, now that it's done, after I add a little bit of a taste, I can see it needs a bit of salt. So I've got a bit of sea salt, a bit of pink Himalayan sea salt, delicious. Just a little bit. A little pinch of pepper, cracked black.
Crack that.
Yep. 6 mussels. I've got 5 prawns, which I know is a bit off for 2 people, but you know, I'm going to have 3. George, you can have 2. So we'll just bang the mussels in there.
No!
And I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to put the lid on just for 1 minute. 1 minute till those mussels start to cook. And then I'll put the rest of the seafood in. Okay? I'll see you in 1 minute. Okay, so come over here. So these mussels have been cooking for about 1 minute now. You can see they're just starting to open just a little bit, so they're almost there, just need a little bit longer. So before I put them in there, obviously I de-bearded them and just gave them a scrub.
De-bearded them?
Yeah, de-bearded them. They have these little beards, like, you know, they're like hipster mussels, and they have these little beards that hang out. You just got to pull it out, and you got to scrub the little barnacles off and things like that. So yeah, that's what I've done there. I'm going to add the 5 prawns, because that's all I can afford. And I have about 200 grams of salmon here, Tasmanian salmon. So we'll just give that a quick stir, get all that happening. I'm going to put the lid back on for another minute, 30 seconds. 30 seconds is important.
Not 29,
No,
30 seconds.
So once that minute and a half's up, what we're going to do is we've got like maybe 1 cup of spinach and 1/4 bunch of parsley, which I'm just going to chop up real quick. So come around. So this should be done now. Oh, yep, those mussels are open nicely. The fish is cooked, the prawns are cooked. Tastes delicious. Yes, it does. So we've got our quinoa here, nicely cooked. It's been sitting there for about 5 minutes. It's getting nice and fluffy. So we're going to bang that in there. Give it a quick stir. Crank it up now just to finish it off. Just crank up the heat. I've got my parsley. Fresh bit of parsley over there. And my cup of spinach. And just a little squeeze of lemon juice just to really get a little bit of tang, which is nice. We have our quinoa paella. You could top that with a bit of parmesan cheese or something like that. People, a bit of grated or whatever, but I don't think it needs it. I don't like cheese with seafood anyway, so. Yeah, that's it. Please try it and enjoy.
Hey Jules, what are you doing?
Hey Georgie, how you doing? Well, I'm just chilling. I'm just enjoying a coffee from a minor place in Brunswick. Delicious.